Україну, гей, гей, розвеселимо. сльозами, та все рівно гарно, її діти розкидані по всьому світу, але навіть там вони дарують світло. Країна квітка, що росте на асфальті, вода в старому платі та у шафі. Вже нова одежа, по розбитому склу, вона йде обережно. З неї знущались, калічили, пили, вона сміялась їм в очі, знаходила сили, щоб чинити спротив, щоб не бути в полоні, назавжди спинити ці душі солоні. Від правди, що меч тримає, молиться Бог і про мир благає. Ми всі віримо в те, що все буде добре, бо вона є сильна, бо вона корона. Моя Україна, це не Україна, я вірю, я знаю, все подолаємо. Я Україна, родюча жива, там є дух козаків і співуча душа. Я Україна, сильніше станемо, я вірю, я знаю, з колін ми станемо. Моя Україна, надія жива, в наших серцях ти єдина одна.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for coming out on this cold night in Trafalgar Square in London. My name is Trafalgar, and I'm lucky enough to be the cultural attaché at the U.S. Embassy here in London. Tonight, we're gathered in partnership with the Ukrainian Embassy in London to mark this important day and to spend some time in community thinking about the solidarity, the strength, and the resilience of the Ukrainian nation and the Ukrainian people. We have an amazing program for you tonight where you're going to hear from some artists about their personal experiences, about what keeps them going. You're going to get a little taste of their art, and you're going to hear from some people who care very deeply about Ukraine, the people of Ukraine, and staying with them as long as it takes until everyone is free. So without further delay, I'd like to introduce Atitila. So, I hardly need to tell you that. You know them, right? Seven Alliums, one of the most popular, beloved bands in Ukraine and the United Kingdom, right? We've got Taras Topola as the lead singer, who's done a song with Ed Sheeran, Bono. But most important, their latest video was done on the front line of Bakhmut. And they have a message for us in terms of sticking with them and some of the difficulties that they and their comrades are going through. Because while tonight they're playing music for you, when they go back to Ukraine, they're going to be military combat medics, and they're going to be serving in detachments, fighting for Ukrainian freedom in another way. So, it is amazing to welcome them here to London. It's an amazing treat to have them play here. You'll get a full concert for those of you who want this Saturday night. But for right now, I'll hand it over to Atitila.
Hello, everybody. Всім вітання, всім українцям, які прийшли сьогодні сюди. Дякуємо вам. Trenches like brows on a bloody land's face. After a blow, there's no one left to blame. Just lonely hope, timeline in this space, swallowing all mistakes. Did you expand them, God? Did we satisfy you? in prayer we met. This where we made our stand. At that time when red bottoms glowed under the pines, when all was spent on iron missiles, which burned from dust till dawn. Oh, they took after all, this one single soul broken down in front of the heavens, in front of the heavens. Дякуємо. Слава Україні!
That was amazing. One more time for Auntie Tila. And the amazing dancers they had with them they're from company from the United States who were so inspired by the beauty of this song to create that unique composition. Now it's my privilege to introduce you to my boss here in London and my boss back in the United States. President Biden is unable to be with us here in person today, but he wanted to tell us directly about his commitment to Ukraine, followed with a message from President. And so following that message from President Biden and some of our partners in this effort, we'll hear from the ambassador to the United Kingdom, from the United States, Jane Hartley, a committed friend of the United Kingdom, and to Ukraine will speak with us about the importance of this effort and the importance of acting as a community in order to support Ukraine. To the video.
President Putin may have assumed that the United States and our allies would bluff him when we warned of massive, unprecedented consequences.
This is time for us for resolve and not for appeasement.
What you've achieved matters not just to Ukraine, but to the entire world. And together, I have no doubt, we'll keep the flame of liberty burning bright.
La Russie ne peut ni ne doit gagner.
Die Ukraine ist Teil der europäischen Familie.
Ukraina wygra wojnę i zostanie odbudowana jeszcze piękniejsza niż była przed rosyjską agresją.
So be in no doubt we will stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Democracy will win. Peace will be restored.
We stand, we fight, and we will win because we are united. Ukraine, America, and the entire free world.
other way. He believes how long is he? He did not fall. His friends did not falter. And as President Biden said in Warsaw, democracy is too strong. Frankly, the democracies of the world have grown stronger, not weaker. But the autocrats of the world have grown weaker, not stronger. And that's the lesson of this war. Who was blind to the strength of Ukraine's democracy. He couldn't see that the West was not divided, but was united in purpose, ready to defend our friends, ready to defend our values. That's why the U.S. has given Ukraine more than $45 billion to help it fight the battle, help it fight on the battlefield. And the UK has been a partner, of course. With our assistance and our ammunition, Ukrainian soldiers defended Kyiv, saved Kharkiv, freed Kherson, breaking into the joy and the joy of its liberation. And I want to personally thank Prime Minister Sunak, Defense Minister Ben Wallace, who I think you'll hear from shortly, for being such strong and steadfast allies to our friends in Ukraine. They are true partners of the United States and true champions of democracy in Europe. And we are standing together. On his extraordinary visit to Kyiv this week, President Biden promised he will stand with our friends in Ukraine for as long as it takes. President Biden added, freedom is worth fighting for as long as it takes. As you all know, President Biden became one of the first U.S. presidents ever to visit a war zone where U.S. troops are not engaged in that war. That shows just how much Ukraine's victory means not only to the United States, but to the President himself. And I've been reflecting this week on that commitment and thinking about what it would look like for Ukraine when they win the war. you to the United Kingdom. May God bless America. And Slava Ukraini.
Thank you for being that tonight. Can I say this event would not be possible without countless hours donated by volunteers, by artists, by community members from all over. So I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to My Life, My Say. We've got lots of volunteers in the audience from My Life, My Say. Amazing organization. To the Patchwork Foundation, who provides opportunities for so many young British people. And let me hear you loud and proud, Ukrainian Students Union. Study hard, because you know what? You're going to be the leaders that make sure hopefully we don't end up in this same place ever again. So our next speaker hardly needs an introduction, but I want to tell you a couple of things about her anyway. She's of Russian heritage, but I'm proud to say that not only is she a treasure of a British actress, but she's also a treasure of an American actress. She is one of the, I think, the only actor in the world to have achieved and earned the Triple Crown of acting in both the United Kingdom and in the United States, which means that she's won a BAFTA Film Award, a BAFTA Television Award, an Olivier Award in the UK, and in the US she's received an Academy Award, an Emmy, and a Tony. Not bad. And she's here because of her dedication to Ukraine, her support of its artists, and her desire to be here with you tonight. Helen Mirren. She's going to read a poem to us from Zehi Zadan. Take only what matters most. Zadan has 12 books of poetry and 7 novels and has won awards the world over. But perhaps most important, he's made several journeys to the front line in Donbass, and since February 2017, he co-founded a charity to provide humanitarian aid to frontline cities. So as he is fighting the war with both his pen and with his words. Ms. Mirren, thank you.
Can you hear me okay? Good. I know there's a It's fantastic to see you here. Let's hope everybody stays on our heads. But even if it does, it's just great to see you. This poem is by Seki Janan. Take only what is most important. Take only what is most important. Take the letters. Take only what you can carry. Take the icons and the embroidery. Take the silver, take the wooden crucifix and the golden replicas. Take some bread, the vegetables from the garden. Then leave. We will never return again. We will never see our city again. Take the letters, all of them. Every last piece of bad news. We will never see our corner store again. We will never drink from that dry well again. We will never see familiar faces again. We are refugees. We run all night. We will run past fields of sunflowers. We will run from dogs, rest with cows. We will scoop up water with our bare hands, still waiting in camps, annoying the dragons.
You will not return. Friends will never come back. There will be no smoky kitchens, no usual jobs. There will be no dreamy lights in sleepy towns, no green valleys, no suburban wastelands. The sun will be a smudge on the window of a cheap train rushing past cholera pits covered with lime. There will be blood on women's heels, tired guards on borderlands covered with snow, a poster with empty bags shot down, a priest with a shocking smile hung by his ribs, the quiet of a cemetery, the noise of a command post, and unedited lists of the dead. So long that there won't be enough time to check them for your own name. That's a very important, very powerful poem about Ukraine. But I think you will be back. And I would say, peace for Ukraine, democracy for Ukraine, and freedom for Ukraine. Thank you very much.
Helen Mirren, thank you for joining us tonight and lending your voice to us. The United Kingdom has stood with Ukraine since the first days of the invasion and every moment since. We're honored today to have representation from the senior levels of government in the UK, including the Minister of Defence, the Right Honourable Ben Wallace. Defence Minister Wallace has been very clear, Senator Vidal, working with the UK military to provide training and support to Ukrainian soldiers, as well as arms and now tanks to the front lines. He's a true friend of Ukraine and a true partner for the United States, a champion for democracy in Europe, and we're very happy to have him with us tonight. But before you hear from him, Prime Minister Sunak has sent us a personal message under 10 Downing Street.
Tomorrow marks 1 year since Russia invaded Ukraine and begun a brutal war against freedom. Since day one, the United Kingdom and United States of America have worked closely to support Ukrainian defences and rally the world to counter Russian aggression. This vigil tonight is a powerful reminder of our continued commitment to the cause, and I thank Her Excellency Ambassador Hartley, His Excellency Ambassador Christyko, their embassy teams, and all of you for standing together with the Ukrainian people tonight. I hope all of you will join me and the rest of the country in a minute's silence at 11 a.m. tomorrow to reflect on the horrors that have occurred since Russia's invasion. Lasting peace is possible when the international community unites together, exemplified again here in Trafalgar Square tonight. Thank you.
On behalf of all our friends, both from Ukraine and supporters from the United Kingdom, thank you for everything you have done to fight not only for your freedom, but for all our freedoms in Europe. This time last year, we weren't supposed to be here. President Putin had a plan. That in 3 weeks, he would have dominated Ukraine, sent people to filtration camps, and eventually turned that country, your wonderful country, into merely a pawn for his ambitions. But all of you here from Ukraine, the bravery of your countrymen and women who have stood against this aggression, this illegal war, this challenge to freedom, democracy and human rights, should be incredibly proud of what you're standing for. And also we should remember all those people who have already given their lives for your wonderful country. The United Kingdom, across all the political parties, from the Scottish National Party, the Labour Party, the Liberal Democrat Party and the Conservative Party, all fully support the efforts to make sure Putin is defeated in Ukraine and his army is sent home. Like Ukraine, Britain remembers what it was like to stand alone against overwhelming odds when many people thought we didn't have a chance in 1939. That's our link to you. But in the end, standing and fighting for our values and our sovereignty and the precious soil we stand on is a feeling that we know too well, and it is why we're going to stand with you to the very end. Yesterday I went to see the brave Ukrainian tank drivers who are training on our tanks that we're sending to help fight. Britain has trained 10,000 Ukrainian soldiers last year, will train another 20,000. We're joined here in the United Kingdom by our friends from Canada, New Zealand, Australia, Lithuania, Norway, Sweden, Finland, all helping train your amazing soldiers, who with the bravest of the brave go out and fight, knowing that some of them, sadly, will not come back. But we'll continue with our support. More tanks, more missiles, everything we can give across the world. But it wasn't that easy. Last year, many of you who were in Ukraine at the time would have probably been scared, worried, as Russia massed 65% of its whole army on your borders. Well, you not only showed Russia, you showed us all that when you stand up for human rights and your country, anything is possible. Slava Ukraini.
Secretary Wallace, thank you. Now, I'm really proud to introduce you to Adam Hugg. He is the leader of the Westminster Council, and I can tell you for sure he's one man that we would not be here without. Organizing an event like this is an enormous, enormous task that usually takes months and months to do. But I have to tell you, when we called his staff, they immediately said, yes, let's do it. It doesn't matter. We're going to make it happen. So we're super grateful to you.
Delighted that our team was able to bring it.
I suppose in some ways this is like Westminster Council's living room, right? Thank you for having us in your home.
Always welcome.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about why it's important for you to be here today? What is Westminster Council doing to support refugees in the borough?
So I first visited Ukraine in 2003, shortly before the Orange Revolution, meeting and working with young political and human rights activists who are passionate about the need for change in their country and then yearning to be part of the wider European family. Before I was elected leader of the Council last May, as Director of the International Affairs and International Policy Centre, I worked on issues including the influence of the Moscow Patriarchate of the Orthodox Church in Ukraine, the persecution of the Delta community after the 2014 invasion of Crimea, and Ukraine's clear commitment to a European future that was forged in the Maidan. And this time last year, we stood in horror at the actions of Putin and his lackeys, and then in awe at the resilience and bravery of the Ukrainian people and its armed services. As a city, Westminster stands in solidarity with the people of Ukraine. Our residents have opened their homes to 690 Ukrainians, including 140 children, who fled the war, providing them with invaluable support and comfort at this most difficult time. The commitment of our residents has gone above and beyond, and we're so grateful for the selfless generosity and kindness that they've shown. We're proud of the work that's been done to support families to get their children enrolled in school, including a dedicated Ukrainian teacher who gives Ukrainian children the opportunity in schools to connect with their culture. But we know there are still families who are seeking refuge. We're encouraging our residents to sign up again to help us.
Thank you. So, on this anniversary, and we know it's not the anniversary of Russia's first invasion of Ukraine, but only the most recent, right? On this anniversary, how is Westminster marking this year?
As a council, we've been enormously proud to put together tonight's event in conjunction with the embassies and other partners. And it's great to see so many of you here tonight in solidarity with Ukraine. And we've been reflecting a lot this week about the impact and devastation the war has caused for so many families and the communities that arrived in our city who in the process have lost so much. Their homes, family members left behind, their country. Westminster City Council is marking the anniversary by lighting up Marble Arch on our own City Hall in the colours of the Ukrainian flag, as well as flying that flag at full mast. We're doing all we can through sustained campaigning efforts to ensure that no Russian assets left here in Westminster can be used to fund this illegal aggression. And finally, I'm thrilled to announce that tomorrow we'll be unveiling a permanent dedication to Ukraine in our city, a Kiev road in the heart of London.
Wait. Hold on, Councillor Hugg. For those of you in the very, very back, listen, this is the first time this is being announced. One more time.
So,
what are you doing tomorrow?
one more time for those in the back. We will be launching tomorrow a Kiev road in the heart of London, here in Westminster. So we've been looking to commemorate the support that our people have for the Ukrainians, and as a city that is now home to so many displaced by the war, I'm delighted that we've been able to find that way to do so. It's a small stretch of road, but we're so proud to be able to show our solidarity with you and your struggle with the visible war here in our city.
Thank you, Councillor Hugg. Right. I kind of have the feeling.
Well, thank you.
So I'm pretty sure we're going to need to meet for a big street party on Kiev Road when Ukraine wins this war, right? That's exactly right. So our next performers are a group of dancers and musicians from the US-based Company E. You saw some of their dancers earlier with Atitila, and they've been here all week in London working with Ukrainian dancers in partnership to create new commissions. They have a Ukrainian choreographer. They choreographed a movement for them that was sent from Ukraine, and they did it all by cell phone when the power was available. We've had artists that have traveled from other places all around Europe who are in exile and who have formed this really amazing American-Ukrainian group that you'll see in front of you today. This group, part of this group also had the good fortune of performing in one of the schools that Councillor Hugg mentioned that had 10 Ukrainian students that had welcomed to it. And I have to say, one of the students was a 6-year-old little boy who was hugging himself the whole time and kind of swaying to the music and enjoying it. But then afterwards, the teacher told me that the reason why he seemed so shell-shocked is because he had recently lost both his father and his grandfather in the war. But the love that the teachers here were showing him is going to be invaluable to him in surviving that loss. They said that they're organizing play therapy for them. They're doing what they can to help them with language skills, to work through some of that trauma, and to be able to integrate with the British students and realize that the United Kingdom welcomes these kids and wants them to live a life full of freedom and health, and is here to support them in doing that. So we really appreciate everything that the Council and other cities across the United Kingdom are doing to welcome refugees from Ukraine, especially their children. So right now, as they're setting up, I want to introduce you to Company E. Co-artistic directors Paul Emerson and Stephanie Knoll, who's a Ukrainian and American. They have a long-standing relationship with Ukrainian dancers. Some of them are here with us tonight. And I think we are just, I'm waiting for them to give me the nod that they're just about ready to start. Right? One more second? Actually, I'm delighted to have one more second because I want to introduce you to Ami and Clifton. Ami's coming to us from San Francisco. Clifton's coming to us from Washington, D.C. And Victor's coming to us from Ukraine. And you're going to hear some beautiful American-Ukrainian music created freshly just for you. fantastic cello music for you, right? That's what Charlotte has got more to say. It's a pleasure now to have on stage with me Tom Slade, who's the chair of the Barbican Center. Right? Yes, the amazing Barbican Center. We're gonna share this mic. So Tom, I've got a question for you. You know, we've heard from politicians, but now we're also seeing artists. Why do we need to have artists and politicians together on the same stage?
Yeah, it's a great question. And look, I was fortunate enough to be in Kyiv 3 weeks ago, and I saw how rich and how deep and incredible Ukrainian culture is. And as much as the West can and must continue to provide military and economic support, the fact of the matter is that arts crosses borders and arts touches people's hearts and people's lives. And if you look around where we are tonight, we're surrounded by big cultural institutions. One of them is the Barbican, and we're doing our bit. We have a show of Ukrainian photography on at the moment, and these are stages that can help bring Ukrainian culture to the UK. And it's not like about a handout, it's about enriching our lives with this incredible culture. And so the more we can work with and partner with Ukrainian artists like you've seen, those brilliant artists tonight, the more we will benefit as well.
That's absolutely true. And, you know, I think the Barbican's commitment to this is not a recent thing. I would have to say about a year ago at the Barbican, I saw a production by the Belarusian Free Theater. And the Barbican was right square behind this Belarusian Free Theater, which was started by Belarusian dissidents who wanted to talk about what was happening and using art and theater to do it. And the play that they put on really could have foretold exactly what's happening right now, except for it was written about a decade ago. And so we have a lot to learn from our artists, and they belong on this stage with the politicians. Thank you, and thanks to all that Barbican does. So now I want a chance, I know it's getting cold, and I'm so grateful you all are here. This next speaker I'm really excited to introduce you to. His name is Hamdi Ulukaya. Hamdi is a philanthropist and activist, and he's a founder of a major corporation in the United States called Chobani. But more importantly, tonight, he's the founder of the Tent Partnership for Refugees. Though he started as a businessman, he understands that both for communities and businesses to thrive, they need to understand the people of their community, they need to support refugees, and they understand that refugees have something to offer local communities. So, without further delay, I will introduce you to Hamdi Ulukaya, who will give some remarks and show you one of their newest videos that I believe is being debuted. Hamdi, thank you.
Thank you. Hi! I'm Hamdi. I'm a Kurd, Turkey, who immigrated to America, visiting you in London, and yet I have never felt more Ukrainian than today that I right now. Tonight, we are all Ukrainians. But as we enter the second year of this invasion, please also keep in your hearts my brothers and sisters in Turkey and Syria as they struggle to recover from the devastating earthquakes. Last time the world had this many refugees. The streets and buildings around this square still had damage from London Blitz. After World War II, we never thought that something like this would happen again in Europe. But never again is happening right now. It has never happened as fast as or been as catastrophic in Ukraine. Since the war began, millions have crossed the border to safety. I was at the border of Poland last year and met some of them. They looked exhausted and terrified, but they did not look defeated. This time, what they have found was kindness and humanity. All of Europe opened its arms in enormous display of support. Here in UK, you open your homes and welcome Ukrainians into your communities. And I have to say, it was a beautiful thing to see. Across the United Kingdom and across Europe, you prove people are good, people are kind, and humanity is working. You step forward and led. We came here tonight to reaffirm the pledge and say, we will continue to stand by Ukrainians until they can return home in peace and to rebuild the country that they love. Over the past year, Europe met the first test in a moment of crisis. And this criminal war continues to grind on. We must meet the second test. We must help all Ukrainians to stand on their feet. I believe this is a special challenge for one group in particular. Now, more than ever, it is time for businesses to step up and step forward and lead. My messages to business community across Europe today is simple one. Let's hire Ukrainians. They're good, hardworking people who are educated and are skilled and who are eager for a chance to show what they can do. You will see what I mean in a short film you will watch in just a moment. They just want the chance to earn their own way, to support themselves and their family, and to know the dignity that comes with work. Because we know the minute refugee has the job is the minute they stop being a refugee. Business's task is to bring jobs to wherever the people are and to bring people to where the jobs are. I know because I lived it. In 2005, I started a yogurt company in America called Chobani. Today, we are one of the leading food companies in America. You know why? Because we have hundreds of immigrants and refugees working in our factories. When I walk around the factory floor, I see that they are working shoulder to shoulder and vibrant part of our community. 6 years ago, I went to United Nations to ask how I could help globally. They said there were very few businesses involved. So I started a 10 partnership for refugees to invite other companies to join. Today, 10 includes more than 300 major companies committed to hire refugees, including some right here in UK. These companies have connected thousands of refugees to work. What I know from Chobani and all these companies have seen in their powerful in this business, how much this means for their employees and the customers. Magic happens every day in these businesses. We just announced that TENT will host first of its kind European Business Summit this coming June. We are mobilizing European businesses community, including businesses across the UK. To my fellow business leaders, we must help Ukrainian refugees find one thing they need the most: job. I have found that the richest life, the fullest life, is the life dedicated to helping others. As businesses, how we use our strength, our talent, our resources to make the life better for others is what matters the most. This is how we will solve the biggest humanitarian crisis facing Europe since 1945. And more than that, this is how we will provide long-term blueprint for how humanity anywhere solves humanitarian crisis in the future. For now, I will take and I will continue to take inspiration from the power of the human spirit that I have seen in Ukrainian women, children, families driven from their homes. Brothers and sisters, if Ukrainians can find the courage to fight for a better life, then we must find the strength to fight like hell for them, for as long as it takes. And together, I believe we will. You know, there's a powerful phrase in Turkish, "Dost kara günde belli olur," which translates, in your darkest hour, your true friends will make themselves known to you. Let us keep showing up for our brothers and sisters, for our friends during this dark time. Let us make the choice today, the only choice we have, to be that true friend. God bless you all. Thank you all.
Honey, you can't leave the stage quite yet because you and Ted have shown up as true friends too. When we called you about 3 weeks or a month ago and said, hey, you want to do this with us, your team without second thought said absolutely and helped sponsor and make all of this possible. So thank you for making this possible tonight. Talk about a true friend. Thank you. So now it's a pleasure to introduce you. I was thinking back to, I've got Lean on Me going through my head. And I think that's the perfect song to lead us into Communities for Ukraine. Communities for Ukraine is a nonprofit grassroots network of volunteers who help Ukrainians transfer, settle, and integrate into communities. Their fundraising activities give direct support to Ukrainians and their families and their respective hosts, and they help them to feel welcome and well cared for. These are the folks who are working directly with refugees and the families that are taking them in and doing the hard work on the ground to organize people to make these communities work. And it's really a pleasure to welcome Hannah and Anastasia to tell you a little bit about their work. Please join me. Hi.
Hi. Good evening, London. Доброго вечора, London. My name is Hannah Ling, and I am the Social Justice Advisor from the Diocese of Oxford and a leader with Citizens UK. And tonight, we are united for Ukraine.
Сьогодні ми об'єднуємося заради України. My name is Anastasia Spivak. I'm a student from Ukraine who was sponsored to come here to UK in August. And now I work here in USP UK as a field manager.
My organisation, the Diocese of Oxford, is a resettlement partner for Citizens UK's Communities for Ukraine programmes. That means that we find people willing to host from across churches and communities in the Thames Valley area. Last year in March we were overwhelmed with hundreds of people wanting to help.
My organisation, USP UK, works with Ukrainians who want to find safety in this country. We support them to match with potential sponsors like the one that Hannah helped us recruit through the Diocese of Oxford.
Citizens UK is coordinating with 30 resettlement partners, and we've managed to resettle almost 800 Ukrainian guests since May last year.
As war continues and we anticipate more fighting as the weather gets warmer, we need to prepare for 1,000 more to go to the UK. In January, I traveled back to Ukraine and I can tell it is not safe there. Not mentioning blackouts and constant uncertainty in the next day.
Last November, I travelled to a refugee centre in Poland. I was shocked by the conditions that people are living in. We found many people living in shelters with rows upon rows of camp beds in a hall with little or no privacy. We found many people wanting to come to the UK so that they could find a more sustainable way to live until it is safe to go home.
So here is where we need your help. We have a system that works. We have Ukrainians that need to come here. All we are missing is the host here in Ukraine who are willing to help.
For all the generosity of the British people that we've seen so far, we now have more Ukrainians wanting to come than hosts that we have to offer them. So please, if you have space in your home, consider being a host with us. We are looking to host another 5,000 hosts by Easter in anticipation of the increased demand. So we need you to step up and help.
And if you yourself can host, please help to find someone who can host in your area. You can change someone's life. I can tell that with confidence because that's happened to me.
So let's show that we are united for Ukraine. Go to the website uspuk.org/C4U, where you can find out more about becoming a host. So again, that website is www.uspuk.org/C4U. Thank you so much and good night.
Дякую вам, що ви тут.
Thank you, Hannah and Anastasia. So we've heard from Hamdi talking about how important it is for refugees to be employed. Now we've heard from Hannah and Anastasia about housing refugees and about changing people's lives. And what we want to do now is show you a short film by Hamdi and his team from Tent Foundation for Refugees to tell you a little bit about what this journey looks like.
I'm very interested in a role at your company as someone with years of experience in sales.
As a software developer.
As someone eager to enter the hospitality industry.
In my previous experience, I've successfully handled a variety of challenges and have adapted well to changing circumstances. I'm an organized and clear communicator.
Able to explain complex ideas clearly.
Adapting to different priorities and schedules.
With your support,
I can do my best to contribute to this community.
And building new life for myself and my family.
I am able,
skilled,
and resilient. Will you give me a chance?
Yours sincerely, the women of Ukraine.
Thank you, Tent Partnership for Refugees and Communities for Ukraine. So, it is a cold night, but I'm feeling lots of warmth out there. Can I hear from the balcony back up here? Love it. How about over here? Can I hear from the Ukrainians in the audience? Who needs a coat? So, we're getting ready to turn the heat up here, too. For the Ukrainians in the audience, this woman will need no introduction. For the Brits in the audience who are Eurovision fans, she won't need an introduction either. Because right now, we've got Ukrainian singer-songwriter Jamala, who was the 2016 Eurovision winner with her song about the deportation of Crimean Korean Tartars, which was seen as commentary on the Russian invasion of Crimea in 2014. She recently performed in Washington, D.C. at the 45th Annual Kennedy Center Honors Award and actually spent some time with my big boss back in Washington, President Biden, who recognized her for her art and for advocacy on behalf of Ukrainian people. And we're lucky enough to have her here tonight in London, in Trafalgar Square, because she wanted to be here with you on this night. Jamala?
that there's no more and cry and no more discoveries. Take me to a place where people are fighting. Take me to a place that I'm free to live or alive. Holding on to hope, hope for the future. Oh, give me love and let the ocean, let it wash away our tears, make this world a better place. Oh, give me love and let the mountains raise above the pain and fear. Here I was with every storm. Oh, give me love. Oh, so the close to you. Oh, give me love. Ain't say no to take me to a place where there's no rules that divide. Ooh, that I can see who I want with no fear of fleeing. Ooh, take me to a place where I can call my home. Take me to that place. I'm ready to fight for it. Oh, give me love and let the ocean, let it wash away our tears, make this world a better place. Oh, give me love and let the mountains rise above the pain and fear. Here I was with every storm. Oh, give me love. Oh, to the close to you. Oh, give me love. They say no to Oh, give me love and let the ocean wash away my tears. Oh, give me love. Oh, give me love. Give me love. Give me love. Good evening, London. Слава Україні! Дякую дуже, що ви сьогодні зібралися. Хоча і прохолодно, але ми разом будемо гріти один одного. 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago, I went to bed full of dreams and hopes. In spite of everything was reported in the news, I, like millions of Ukrainians, continue to make plans for the future. Actually, it was the last day that I could do it. I saved my sons, 2 little boys, on 24th February in 2022, just like my great-grandmother was trying to save her kids in 1944. The Soviet authorities forcibly deported her in her 5 children in her arms
from Crimea to Central Asia, in cattle trade, without food and water, mercilessly, cruelly. Unfortunately, one of the daughters died of this cruel treatment. Unfortunately, the history repeats itself and never again happened again. From generation to generation, they kill, destroy, and say we are innocent. I don't know how to say, how to express how grateful am I. I'm so grateful to the United States of America. I'm so grateful to the United Kingdom because you give us the hope that we are not alone in this struggle till we win. Slava Ukraini! When strangers are coming, they come to your house, they kill you all inside. We're not guilty, not guilty. Where's your mind? Humanity cries, we think our gods, but everyone dies. Don't swallow my soul, our souls.
Victoria is here only for a few days from Kyiv. She's a Kyiv City Council member. Victoria, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me.
Доброго вечора. Ми з України.
So, we know we have a lot of Ukrainians here, but we also have a lot of people from all over the world. And what I wonder is, what do you think the people of Kyiv would want the UK to know? What do they want us here in London and Trafalgar Square to know tonight about what the last year has been like for them?
Last year, a year ago, the lives of every Ukrainian person, they changed. We all woke up, and it was the most dramatic period, the most dramatic year we had in the recent history. I would just like to remind to those who are safe here, who found a temporary home in London and in other cities, that during this year in Kyiv we had 31 days a month of air surveillance. That means that all people stayed this period in the shelters, in metro tubes, and the parents were hiding their children, trying to make them safe between the walls. And in some regions, some Ukrainian regions, this was even worse. And in Kyiv, 160 civilians were killed during this year. 700 buildings were ruined, and 450 people were left without their homes. But still, with all the support, what we show the world, that we keep fighting for the freedom, we keep fighting for democracy, we keep fighting for the same values we share with the world. And what we would really like to happen as soon as possible, we would definitely like to win this war, and we will win this war, having this support from the United Kingdom, from the United States of America, from all democratic world, so that people who were forced to leave their homes can return to Kyiv and live in a peaceful country.
Victoria, thank you.
Slava Ukraini.
Hold on just a second. It's hard to imagine what it would be like. If you're not in a war zone, it's really unimaginable to imagine what it would be like to be trying to rescue your children from air raids, to having your neighbors killed, having buildings destroyed. And you know, one of the things that I thank you for is being here and sharing that with us. And I know that you go back to Ukraine tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. So can I just get a message from you here in Trafalgar Square in the city of London for her to take back? How much are we supporting her people? When she goes back to Kyiv tomorrow and they say, do they even know what's happening to us in London? Are they paying attention? What is she going to tell them? What's our message for the people of Kyiv?
Thank you. As our mayor, Vitaly Klitschko says, the only message we need now is that you stand with Ukraine. You carry on supporting and helping us till the victory. Thanks.
As long as it takes. Thank you. As long as it takes. So, I want to introduce you now to Ukrainian Ambassador Prisayko, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine and a Deputy Foreign Minister for Ukraine. Between 2014 and 2019, he was also the Ukrainian Ambassador to Canada. And now he is the Ambassador to the United Kingdom. And we're proud to count him as a friend in this effort. And I'm pleased to introduce you tonight. Thank you.
Hello. Добрий вечір. Героям слава! Dear friends, we are all very grateful to our American friends for their unwavering support all of these years of our independence, but especially now, when unjustified and unprovoked war brought so much tragedy and suffering to our nation. Dear American friends, with you by our side, with our British friends and colleagues in the rest of the world, we are growing stronger each and every day, driving Putin's killers out of our lands, restoring peace and stability and respect of human rights, rights of people and nations, for dignity, prosperity, and peace. As we stand here in the heart of beautiful London, Ukrainians have to fight for their chance to live free, to create free and sin free. After a year of devastating war, we are not losing our optimism. Backed by our friends, we are confidently looking at our future. The war is not won yet, but one battle definitely successful. Ukraine is strong, young nation with great, courageous people, happy to share with the rest of the world their unique culture. Our best artists with us today. Thank you to our friends from American Embassy. Please enjoy Ukrainian culture. Now to my fellow Ukrainians who came here today and bring their British friends with them. Дорогі друзі, наша боротьба свята, і ми не одні в цьому протистоянні. З першого дня з нами друзі з Великої Британії, США, Австралії, Нової Зеландії, Канади, всіх країн Європи. Разом ми непереможні. Я тільки що повернувся з однієї з військових баз, де навчаються наші з вами солдати. Маю вас запевнити, наша армія сильна, і вона стає ще сильнішою. Як сказав в Києві президент Байден, ми маємо зробити все можливе, щоб Росія ніколи не досягла того, що вона хоче в Росії. Наше з вами завдання набагато простіше. Нам треба зробити все можливе, щоб Росія втратила все. І щоб ми перемогли. Ми повернемось з вами додому. Відбудуємо нашу країну краще, ніж вона була. Якщо це взагалі можливо. Але сьогодні є можливість хоч на годину забути про горе, трагедію, смерті. І насолодитись тою чудовою культурою, чудовими піснями, які я можу поділитися з нашими друзями. Все буде Україна, друзі. Слава Україні! Це щось слабо. Ще раз. Слава Україні! Це вже краще ще один раз. Слава Україні!
Thank you so much. So I'm only going to delay a very short bit because now we're going to welcome our artists back to the stage. In just a quick minute, Auntie Tila is going to join us back on stage and help us warm up again. Here we are. All right. Let's give them a round of applause while they're getting set up. Let them know how happy we are to have them back on stage with us.
I need to say some important words. Dear friends, today we are here in Trafalgar Square to mark 1 year since full-scale invasion in Ukraine and express gratitude to our friends and allies that are next to Ukraine in this hard period of life. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to the United States of America and United Kingdom for its world leadership in helping Ukraine. Our friends help more than any other country in the world, and we value it extremely high. The United States of America has already given Ukraine more than 45 billion in the form of weapons and vehicles, satellites and military trainings. America has also provided billions of dollars in humanitarian aid, including funds for teachers, emergency services, medical supplies and heat generators. Intelligence from Great Britain and America helped warn Ukraine of Putin's plan and subsequently applied powerful sanctions to his friends and oligarchs. It was the United States that has taken an important role in the unification of NATO and other European countries to support Ukraine. President Biden has promised to stand with people of Ukraine as long as it takes. And we believe that these are not empty words, but a guarantee of our future victory. After all, today Ukrainians are leading a truly historical struggle. A year ago, Russia came
by its soldiers' boots to the land of another sovereign, independent state, Ukraine. And Russia began to kill civilians, torture women and children, destroy cities, and commit total genocide against the people. But it has failed to achieve its bloody goals. Ukraine has not fallen and still fights. The result of this war will determine the flow of history and the fate of the European people for centuries ahead, definitely. I'm very proud that the voice of Anti-Tila band sounds loud in this war. We, at the paramedics of the 130 Battalion of Territorial Defense Forces and the parents of children know that the importance of the Ukraine's victory in this unjustified war cannot be overestimated. From the first day of the invasion, for musicians of Anti-Tila band, it was important to show and prove that the whole nation, including the musicians and artists, stands next to our country, fight for it, do everything possible and impossible to win. After all, before the war, we were gathering stadiums and we were aware of the impact on all those who fell in love with our music and followed us. I would like to emphasize that the history of the British struggle against the enemy in the past proved that only when the people truly unite against the enemy, soldier and fisherman, baker and businessman, teacher and general, young man and grandmother, only then people are able to win and become invulnerable to the action of the enemy. Over the past century, both Great Britain and the United States have been able to win numerous victories and numerous battles and wars, and now Ukraine is on the verge to its own great victory. After a year of incredible trials, after the expectation that we will fall in 3 days, after the skeptical predictions of respectable politicians, we have stood and continue to liberate and return the captured territories. We have made the impossible possible. The only thing Ukraine lacks today is the speed of the supply of weapons and the greater determination of other European countries in support of Ukraine. Therefore, I want to end my speech with the words of the prominent British writer Charles Dickens. The most important thing in life is to stop saying "I wish" and start saying "I will." These words cannot be more appropriate than today. Ukraine has forgot the word impossible. Ukraine has remind the world "I will." I will not give up. I will turn back. I will win. By the way, in Ukraine, we don't say if we win. We say when we win. Thank you for your attention. I express my appreciation as an artist, as a citizen of my country, and as a soldier to Jane Hartley, United States Ambassador to the United Kingdom, London City Hall, British Parliament, monarchy, and all nations for supporting us. No word that could describe our thanks. May God save Ukraine and Ukrainian people. May God bless our friends and allies, the United States of America and the United Kingdom. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to heroes. Fortress Bakhmut.
наші тут, і сердець сталевий дух, і герої незламних крут, з неба нам сил дають, волю, вогонь і лють, стіни горять в бою. Мамо, а я стою, мамо, а я в строю, не, я борюсь, знищу і повернусь. Зараз буде база, вимикаєм бій, старі образи. Ось моє плече, я поруч браза, ось вона напроти суне, зараза. Ось заходить з флангу, нова фаза. Працюємо спокійно, як то вчили нас. Там наше завтра за нашими спинами. І наші діти, батьки, родини там, і ті, що пішли на щиті, побратими. Також за нашими спинами. Нехай стрибає щур, загнаний в кут, і палає зарево наш маршрут. Значить, є робота для наших рук. Тут фортеця Бахмут, всі молитви наші тут, і сердець сталевий дух, і герої незламних крут, з неба нам сил дають, волю, вогонь і лють, стіни горять в бою. Мамо, а я стою, мамо, а я в строю, не, я борюсь, знищу і повернусь. Зараз стане темно, і впаде в агонію кривавий демон. Значить, ми боролись не даремно, значить, ми дотисли так шалено, значить, все за планом, далі ранок, а з ним перемога. Наостанок скажу лише одне: боятись не гріх, гріх зрадити своїх. Фортеця Бахмут, всі молитви наші тут, і сердець сталевий дух, і герої незламних крут, з неба нам сил дають, волю, вогонь і лють, стіни горять в бою. Мамо, а я стою, фортеця Бахмут, всі молитви наші тут, і сердець сталевий дух, і герої незламних крут, з неба нам сил дають, волю, вогонь і лють, стіни горять в бою. Мамо, а я стою, мамо, а я в строю, не, я борюсь, знищу і повернусь. Дякуємо. Чекаємо всіх в неділю на нашому концерті в Electric Brixton. Приходьте. І зараз я запрошую на цю сцену чарівну, неймовірну Джамалу. Ви знаєте, я ще хочу сказати, ми слухали Джамалу тут, а ми слухали її в палаці там. І навіть коли ти слухаєш Джамалу в палаці, не перед колонками, не перед спікерами, все одно мурашить. Це наш український голос. Дякую.
І слава, і воля ще нам
своїй сторонці, душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду. Душу й тіло ми положим за нашу свободу і покажем, що ми браття козацького роду. Слава Україні! Героям слава!
Thank you, Atitila. Thank you, Jamala. It has been a real privilege and a pleasure to be on stage with you tonight. Thank you. I know. Amazing. On behalf of the United States, on behalf of those who spoke to you from the United Kingdom, and on behalf of the embassy here in Ukraine and the Ukrainian people, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, for the support, for the generosity, and for the love, and for the good side of human nature that you are most clearly demonstrating tonight. Thank you for being here. I think our strong message back, as the Councilwoman flies back, is that we're together with Ukraine for as long as it takes, right? As long as it takes. So we want to again thank our volunteers tonight. We want to thank Tent Partnership for Refugees, Communities for Ukraine, the Barbican, and the Council, who have all brought together to make this night possible. Please travel home safely, and as you go, our wonderful bandura player, Katerina, will join us back on stage to play you out as you make your way out of Trafalgar Square. Thank you, London.
Перед тим, як ви ще підете додому, хочу зробити об'яву. Завтра о 4-й годині біля пам'ятника Володимира Великого ми всі збираємось, щоб нагадати цей страшний день, який рік тому. Але єдності наша сила, тому чекаємо о 4-й годині, потім о 4:30 буде хода до російського посольства, тому чекаємо на вас. Дякую. А зараз хто ще хоче заспівати разом. Мене чути, бандуру чути. Признайся мені, звідки в тебе чари. Тебе всі дні у полоні печалі, може, десь у лісах ти чарзілля шукала, сонце руту знайшла і мене чарувала. шукай вечорами, червону руту не шукай, не шукай. Ти для мене єдина Україна, ти для мене єдина, тільки ти одна. Гей, червону руту не шукай вечорами, червону руту не шукай, не шукай. Ти для мене єдина Україна, ти для мене єдина, тільки ти одна. Гей, слава Україні! Героям слава! Слава Україні! Героям слава! Слава Україні! Червону руту не шукай вечорами, ти в мене єдина, тільки ти повір. Бо твоя врода, то є чистая вода, то є бистрая вода синіх. Дякую, thank you very much. Вау, який в нас класний хор. А зараз трошки романтики. Пісня «Океан Ельзи». Тому якщо захочете